Hello guys and gals, this is LiveLongGear, and today I just kind of wanted to do a video about this multi-tool I've had for a number of years. I got a new one recently for Christmas, and it's a Gerber, and I like it better for a number of reasons, but that's not here what I wanted to tell you guys. What I wanted to tell you was some of the things I did like over the years. I've been using this, carrying this one for almost 2 years now. Some of the things I did like about this multi-tool, and some of the things I did not like about this multi-tool, and what I look for now when I go to get another one. Now I'm not a carpenter, but you know I do my occasional fair share of woodworking and you know, building things, repairing things, you know, adding a window here and there, electrical wiring, you know, whatever various things pop up, I'm not afraid to try and do it myself. So anyhow, this is a Sheffield stainless steel multi-tool, and I believe this is a carpenter style. Not my original first choice. The things that make this a carpenter style are stuff I'll show you in just a minute. You'll see that the tools on this are fairly specific and targeted more towards that style of stuff. So the first thing I'll point out that I like, I'll start with the holster. The number one thing, I mean, other than the fact that it started to tear, you wear anything for long enough. The holster was not put, sheath, holster, whatever you want to call it, was not put together fairly sturdily. This one section was not. It's just a single line of stitching that holds this on. The thing I do like about this, prior to it tearing, is that it's got a relatively wide belt length. Some belts are skinnier and they'll take just about any, you know, this will fit. This one happens to be wider, and I use military style belt, so they're quite a bit wider. They're about that wide, so you need every last bit almost of what it gives you. Anyhow, simple, oversized, I'd say, which is a decent feature. I like to be able, without looking, to reach down, you know, grab this from my side, pull up on that, and then get the multi-tool out. So it's pretty good. Pretty good other than that. Like I said, you know, you got the problem of this falling apart. It is not, it feels like there's a hard material in here. I don't know that it's a plastic or a cardboard. It must be a plastic, because I know I dropped this in water before, and if it was cardboard it would likely fall apart. So there you have it. There's no drainage holes on it. No little grommets on the bottom. So there's that. Now, to the multi-tool. So it's a fairly good one. The number one quality I like about it is I've never had this one rust on me, and I have not always wiped it down after it's been wet. So the steel they've used, or whatever they've coated it in, is fairly sturdy. The spring as well has not worn out on me. I've had those wear out. This little spring here that opens it fairly often on some of the multi-tools. And it's a handy feature to have in a multi-tool, the little spring. Or there are various things. Gerber uses a metal-on-metal lock system that actually winds down into the hand grip here a little bit on each side instead of a spring. A lot of times I've seen the springs will actually be made of an inferior metal compared to the rest of it, so the whole multi-tool might not rust, but the spring might. Well, you know, it's only as strong as its weakest link, so if that piece breaks, sometimes they'll stick closed, or sometimes they don't pop open. It's nice to have the spring ones for one-handed use, the self-opening ones. So, you know, I can push it down and it pops up. For one-handed use, you can grab onto something, then let go. I mean, you know, it depends on what you're using it for, but you can grab onto something with one hand and let go without having to stick your fingers underneath and pry it open like that. So, onto the tools that it actually uses. You can tell also from heavy use, mine has... it's not lined up perfectly anymore. I don't know, let's see if we can get the camera to focus on that part. Focus. There you go. See that? Doesn't quite line up, and I can wiggle it back and forth. That's just from heavy use, maybe slight abuse on my part, but also could be from some of these. These things are, you can use an Allen wrench to tighten these, which is kind of handy. Some multi-tools use a system that you can't actually tighten yourself. They use smooth bolts or flat bolt tops, and so you can't really tighten them yourself sometimes. So I like the fact that you can fix this if you wanted to. Now, On to the tools, like I said a second ago. So it's this has a very, very sharp saw to it. The teeth are definitely stand out fairly far for being just a small hand tool. It's mounted fairly sturdily. It has a little bit of wiggle back and forth, which is not a big deal. And again, it could be the age. It could be, you know, maybe I need to tighten these with an Allen wrench. Who knows? But it also has measurements on it, so that could be another part. You know, just 2 inch and 2 1/4 maybe. So it has a normal lock system. The lock system is fairly sturdy on this side, but it's not as sturdy as it could be. On the other side, I'll show you what I mean about it not being sturdy. They're fairly easy to get out and put back in. It has a fairly big bevel. With gloves, I found that I can still reach in because this is so wide and grab that, even with gloves on. I mean, I don't have big hands, but it works for me pretty well. Then you just have your standard flathead. You also have, or Phillips, not flathead. Stainless steel again. You know, to be honest, I don't really use it that often. It is one thing I do like to have on it. And your third set of tool on this side is actually replacement blades. You get, I believe there was originally 4 in there. There's 3 now. So in the 2 years I've had this, I've only replaced the blade once. Mainly because it's fairly difficult to replace. Alrighty, now this is actually, I'll start with this one. This is actually the blade that it comes with. This is what makes me believe that it is most definitely a carpenter's tool. You have a very short blade. It's obviously a loose blade, razor. It's fairly thin, weak, so if you're trying to pry something or get in, not that you should be doing that with your knife, but it's a multi-tool. You know, use it. So if, you know, it wiggles around a little bit, quite a bit. It's had quite a lot of play. That's not for me abusing it. That's just for how it is. Wiggles back and forth a fair amount as well. And my biggest complaint on that, on the tools, is you don't have a full-length proper blade, which is something I use quite often. That's half of a multi-tool for me, aside from the pliers, then the Phillips. Then, of course, where would you be without a proper bottle opener? You wouldn't be. You would be in a bad way. So this is the only one that's kind of difficult to get because I don't open it very often. So you have your 2 tools here. You know, I don't remember what this is for. I believe that's for opening a can. I believe you use it to puncture a can. Now don't quote me. If you know, tell me. Don't just mock me. Just tell me. You can tell how often I use these things. I do use it as a bottle opener, and that's about it. So these ones, this whole side has a lot of play. Trying to hold it and move only one hand. The lock system has not failed me before, so it has not collapsed when I didn't want it to, which is good. It's a good sign. And a file. I've used the file a bit. It's one-sided. It's one-way filing on this side, one-way lines. You can see there the reflection, and this is 2-way, so this is a cross hitch. Cross-hatch, whatever you want to call it. I've used the file a couple of times for small things. You know, it's a multi-tool, obviously. It's not a industrial strength, commercial grade ultra tool. It's a handheld improv device, improvisation. I think that's how you say that. Anyhow, so there you go. There's my Sheffield multi-tool. When looking for multi-tools, I like the ones that rust or don't rust. Believe it or not, there are a fair amount out there that do rust, so that would be the #1 thing I would check for. The second thing I would check for is kind of do a review or find reviews of ones that last for the years. Or sorry, the second thing I check is make sure that you're getting the tools you're going to use. Like I say, I don't really use the blade on this. I don't use this entire the blade on this side. I don't use this entire extra storage. I don't really use the saw on it for anything. It's nice that the saw thing has measurements on it, but a lot of multi-tools will have them on this part, like so. So they'll start here, and it'll measure all the way down. So instead of getting 2 inches, you get maybe 5 or 6 or 4, who knows. So that's something that I like to look for. I also am a big advocate of having single-hand multi-tools. Can't tell you how many times I've been holding on to something or holding something together, and I go, oh, you know, I gotta grab the multi-tool, reach down, grab it, and sit there and I have to monkey with it because it's not very conducive to opening with one hand, and you know, then I may have screwed up what I did and have to redo it all. But to each their own. Maybe you guys put more forethought into stuff sometimes. I know that no matter how much forethought, I always seem to forget something and have to get a multi-tool out. That's why I carry one all the time. Very handy to have. So all in all, not a bad deal. Sheffield makes quite a few other ones. I just hopped on their website before making this video to see if I could find this one. And I don't know that they sell this exact version to consumers. I know retail side, they still sell these in stores. So yeah, there you go, guys. I will definitely keep this one in my truck or somewhere where if I lose my main one or it breaks, I've got a backup. So let me know what you think about your multi-tool. I would love to actually see some recommendations for one-handed multi-tools. If you have any, what you carry, what you use. Kind of give me a price idea too, because I am looking for another one for a friend, and I'd like to have an idea on what to get him that works well. So comment, like, and subscribe, and please subscribe because I will make more videos, and I want to get opinions. I want to get opinions on people that have seen some of my videos and kind of know what I'm doing, and you know, I want feedback, criticism, kind of. I want to know what you guys think I should do to make it better, what you did like, what you didn't like. So just let me know. All right, guys, take care.